Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Harrington. Tonight on the Now Bakersfield, get those resumes ready. Dozens of local businesses are looking to hire. Tonight we'll give you an inside look at Job Fest and how you can prepare to land the job you want. And you can help reduce the number of animals that end up in shelters every year. We'll tell you all about World Spay Day. Plus, storms are continuing to bring icy conditions around Kern County. See how Alta Sierra is benefiting from all that fresh powder. That's all ahead on the Now Bakersfield. Chris?
Our first check of the lineup here on the Now. Liquidation sales have started at Payless before they close. You might think discount store would be able to survive, but we have some perspective on what it really takes to make it as a store right now. CBD, you hear about it a lot, starting to show up in a lot of places, even for pets. We are talking to a top canine vet, what they have to say about it before you give it to your animal. Also, so many people have done those at-home DNA tests, but what happens when you don't want your information out there anymore? Our investigative team showing us how to get that deleted.
Good evening. There are hundreds of job openings all over Kern County, and 36 local businesses are looking for the perfect person to fill those positions at Job Fest. In this week's Kern Back in Business, the Now Scott Sheehan went to Lamont to find out what you need to know to prepare for the event.
Denny's, Dollar General, Clinica Sierra, and KS Industries. They're among the 36 employers looking to hire new workers during the Lamont Job Fest on Thursday, February 21st in the David Head Center.
There's going to be a diversity of great employers there, not only from the local area, but also from the Tejon area. So a great opportunity to come and connect with many of these employers.
The Lamont Job Fest is the first Job Fest of the year. The Greater Lamont Chamber of Commerce President Jose Gonzalez says having this Job Fest now will help Lamont's unemployment because it will bring together multiple different types of industries in the same venue.
We have plenty of opportunity now with the Job Fest that's coming that local residents can actually get a different type of a job, not just only agriculture.
Gonzalez says Lamont has a 10% unemployment rate, which is slightly higher than the Kern County 7.6% unemployment. And Gonzalez says a Job Fest could help his community diversify and have a brighter future.
Having a successful Job Fest is very important. It's very important for the community and for the future of Lamont. That will also attract employers to come here. It'll attract community members to come out and seek other employment.
One of the companies looking to hire new workers is KS Industries. They have 22 job openings ranging from roustabouts to crane operators and crew leads.
The reason for the openings right now is we've been picking up quite a bit of work. We should be expanding out to the San Ardo area as well. It just seems to be picking up altogether. When
Mendoza goes to career fairs, he says first impressions mean a lot.
The way they present themselves is going to tell a recruiter a lot about the kind of employee they're going to be, from a firm handshake to start with, being able to communicate clearly with the recruiter, and then just being able to explain what experience they have is what we're looking for a lot.
Frank Cabrera with the Job Fest team has other tips about how to prepare for an upcoming career fair. He says organizing your resume and preparation are critical to putting your best foot forward.
So you want to target like your top 5 employers. Go to their website, research them, and basically look at the job description on the website. Look at what are the qualifications and tailor that resume to those target employers.
So we're dressed professionally. Other than dressed for success, what else can people wear with them to really stand out when they walk into a Job Fest?
So they want to wear confidence, they want to wear positivity, and they really want to wear their personality, because the unique thing about a Job Fest is you're basically taking yourself an opportunity from being in an online world somewhere, of application process world, and you're getting in front of that employer and showing that employer who they are. And that employer, sometimes they say, I like that person. I want them in my organization. And that's where you can make that happen at a job fest.
For the community of Lamont, Gonzalez says bringing employers to the people will help grow the family-centered community.
We're very family-oriented here in Lamont, and most of us want to give back to our community and want to provide in our communities that we grew up. So Lamont is one of those areas that having a job fest just provides another opportunity for community members to look within the community.
Reporting, Scott Sheehan, 23 ABC News.
And as if there weren't enough options at Job Fest, the U.S. Census Bureau is also hiring. The Bureau is looking for people to help with interviewing residents for the 2020 census who have not yet responded to the questionnaire and update addresses and maps for them. The pay starts at $15.50 an hour and goes up to $17 an hour. To see if you qualify to be a census taker and for a link to the application, just head to our website, turnto23.com. How would you like to help reduce the number of unwanted pets that end up in shelters here in Kern County? Next week you can through World Spay Day. World Spay Day will be held at Kern County Animal Services on Fruitvale Avenue in Northwest Bakersfield on Tuesday, February 26th. No matter where you live, if you have a dog or cat, you can get your pet fixed safely and affordably from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. County residents can also get their cats and pit bulls fixed for free. All other dogs can get fixed for just $10. Spay Day is being held in partnership with the Cat People, Marley's Mutts, the City Animal Care Center, and more. For more details, head to our website, turnto23.com. Chris?
Right now, Payless Shoe Store is in the process of liquidating. And as the Now's Kamasi Aaron found out, experts say look for more stores to close this year.
After more than 60 years in business, Payless, the discount shoe store, is joining the ranks of retailers shutting down stores in 2019.
Just a men's 7.5.
John Strick says he's going to miss his local store.
This is where I always came to get my exercise shoes. It probably more expensive shoes at another place.
We've seen quite a few people coming in and out of this store looking for deals as hundreds of Payless stores prepare to close. But this isn't the only chain shuttering stores this year.
Sears, Gymboree, Charlotte Russe, and now Payless. The discount shoe store first filed for bankruptcy in 2017, closing hundreds of stores and cutting millions in debt. Now, Payless is expected to file for bankruptcy this month for the second time.
I think Payless just lost their relevance. They went into debt, and so they didn't have enough money to reposition and rebrand and do some of the things that brands need to do. And then they just eventually just kind of had to liquidate.
Darren Dubersmith is a marketing professor at MSU Denver and says discount stores have to balance low prices with high volume. Payless wasn't able to, and newer discount stores like TJ Maxx and Ross became more relevant.
While we really like the nostalgia, people don't like being in old stores with old formats and old colors and old logos.
Still, Dubersmith says not all stores closing in 2019 will be a bad thing.
We just have too many retailers selling the same stuff to the same people, and some of them have to go away.
If you're headed out to a Payless store to shop, experts say don't expect the best deals up front. You may want to wait, but not too long. Also, check the store's return policy, and if you have a gift card, use it. For the Now, I'm Kamasi Aaron.
All right, Kamasi, thank you. Let's get back to our lineup here. And CBD is really just showing up everywhere these days, even in pet food. We're talking to a top canine vet, what they say you should know before you give it to your dog. You're watching the Now. All right, let's start this news feed. The September 11th Victim Compensation Fund cutting its payouts in half, if not more. The fund expires in December 2020, and it's seeing a surge in claims. It has paid around $5 billion to 21,000 people, still has about 19,000 unpaid claims, according to NPR. North Carolina's election board meeting this week about the last undecided congressional race in the country. Now, the board's looking into whether a Republican operative tampered with ballots. The Republican candidate does hold a slim lead, but the state hasn't certified that election. Well, imagine you're in your backyard, you look up, and this is what you see. It happened to a Southern California homeowner out gardening, looking up, and 50 feet up in that tree was a mountain lion. San Bernardino Fire Department took the cat down with a tranquilizer. It has been released back into the wild. Well, we keep hearing about more companies offering some sort of tuition program or a way to help employees pay off college debt. Papa John's even just teaming up with the university for free or discounted tuition for online programs. Now, there's also a bill gaining support to add tax breaks for businesses that contribute up to $5,200 a year to an employee's student loan payments. Let's go to the Now's Amy Taylor here with some of the other ways to tackle student debt.
You can take those work skills you're paying for now and use them to volunteer. There are businesses and groups that will contribute to your student debt for doing various gigs. Check out sharedharvestfund.org. The website allows you to create a profile with your skills and find listings for gigs that will pay directly toward your school debt lender. Shared Harvest charges a one-time registration fee of just $25. And there's a new debt help program for healthcare clinicians working directly in the opioid crisis. They can get up to $75,000 from the government for committing to work in certain roles or communities for up to 3 years. You can even have a little fun paying those student loans. Giveling is a trivia game app that says it pays weekly prizes towards student debt and mortgages. So better start brushing up on your Jeopardy knowledge right now.
All right, Annie, thank you. And the car market is at a point where if you need some help in getting an SUV or a truck, you're in luck because the discounts there are getting bigger. Almost $4,000 on average per vehicle. Car makers shifting to making more larger vehicles just because the demand is there right now. On the flip side, discounts dropping on sedans because there's just now fewer of them.
A system of storms keeps sweeping through the county, bringing more than 15 inches of snow to Alta Sierra Ski Resort this weekend. The resort was open today, welcoming people looking to shred on the slopes, runs, and tube parks this President's Day. Because of the icy conditions, chains were required to visit, and the CHP officers were turning vehicles around that did not have proper safety equipment. Alta Sierra says they have a 5.5-foot base, perfect to make snow angels or build a snowman. Absolutely gorgeous. They've been posting pictures all weekend. Finally, though, Allison, some sunshine.
I know, we definitely need it. We're going to be seeing clearing skies as we head into the overnight hours, and that's going to be sticking around into your Tuesday as well as for most of the day on Wednesday. But today we were tracking just the back end of that winter system that brought lots of action across the county. 51 degrees was our high, so that is well below normal, which that's 64 for this time of year, and it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing temperatures reach the 60s until more than a week away. So cool temperatures are on the way, and they are here to stay. So 44 degrees right now here in Bakersfield, 36 up in Lake Isabella, 31 down in Lebec, and look at this, 12 degrees right now down in Pine Mountain Club. As we head into tomorrow, we are going to be tracking a freeze warning impacting the valley, beginning at midnight tonight, continuing until 9 a.m. tomorrow. So frost is likely by the time you are waking up, and then we are going to be seeing those chances yet again in those early morning hours on Friday. But thankfully, due to these winter systems that made their way across the county, we're going to have another day of air quality in the good range, slightly better than what we were seeing today with an AQI of 39, and there are no restrictions, but birding is discouraged. And as we head into the later portions on Wednesday throughout the day on Thursday, we are tracking yet our next winter storm, bringing some light rain chances for us here in the valley, but very cold conditions to the mountains. We are tracking the chance to see some snow down to pass level, that snow level down to 2,000 feet, excuse me. You can see temperatures dropping down to 48 degrees by the time that system makes its way through the county, then warming up as we head into the weekend. Sunshine with a high of 60 degrees on Monday. Chris?
All right, let's start the news feed with an interesting concept about homework. Teachers in China could be banned from giving students homework they complete on phone apps. All of this is about protecting their eyesight. Teachers are encouraged to give paper assignments. Well, here's an example of the impact of the internet. A Texas Tech researcher looking into why more people than ever think that the Earth is flat. She interviewed 30 people. They all had gone to a flat Earth conference. All but one became a flat earther just from watching YouTube videos. Well, the NBA giving a glimpse into the future of sports. Commissioner Adam Silver showing off a piece of clothing that can change the name and the number on it. NBA also showing off the future really could be using facial recognition to get into games instead of tickets. Well, the number of pet treats now infused with CBD continues to grow. You're just taking a look right here at one of the latest that says it helps with hyperactivity and joint pain in animals. Now, the Now's Annie Taylor is taking a look into the safety of these products and what both pet owners and vets are saying.
Like most pet owners, Julie Richardson's 2 dogs and Bird are her best friends. Foxy is 19 years old and Daisy is 14. And Julie credits their good health to CBD oil and infused dog treats.
They are not going to get high. What they are going to do is they're going to have beautiful shiny coats and feel better and be more playful.
For Julie, keeping her animals happy and healthy is crucial, not just for them, but for her too. She has epilepsy, and they are her service animals.
She's saved my life. I've woken up with seizures, and they're both licking my face. She's up underneath me, and she's trying to wake me up.
CBD is said to be an anti-inflammatory to help aid in pain or anxiety. And Julie says she gives a small amount of CBD to her dogs daily.
You have to separate the facts from the wishes.
But veterinarian Dr. Jerry Klein says that's the challenge, regulating how much CBD is needed for a 6-pound dog like Julie's versus an 80-pound dog to feel the effects.
At this time, there is really no scientific data to support the use or misuse of CBD in animals.
But there is one study grabbing attention. Colorado State University found that 89% of dogs who received CBD in a clinical trial had a reduction in the frequency of seizures. While some say the hype of CBD is outpacing studies, Travis Lippard wishes he knew about CBD for his pets sooner.
Echo is now the same age that my previous corgi Zeus was when he started dragging his back foot.
Travis lost his corgi Zeus from multiple sclerosis. He sees a big difference with his new dog, Echo.
He's a much younger dog, and he's showing no signs of degenerative myelopathy. I believe that his taking CBD could be the reason for it.
Julie and Travis swear by the effects CBD has on their pets, and Dr. Klein's not ruling out the positive effects of CBD, but says more studies need to be done.
Because we want something to be true or wish it to be true, doesn't necessarily make it true.
For the Now, I'm Annie Taylor.
All right, Annie, thank you. And finally in our lineup, so many people, maybe you have as well, have done those at-home DNA tests. But what happens when you don't want your information out there anymore? Our investigative team is checking into that.
Pinot Noir, Cabernet, or Chardonnay, and raise your glass because today is National Drink Wine Day. Most people with a serious love of wine rarely need an occasion to actually open a bottle, but today is quote-unquote a holiday, so it's a perfect reason to have a glass. Wine has been a drink of choice for thousands of years, dating all the way back to ancient Rome and biblical times. Aside from its history, wine also has some health benefits. Some studies suggest wine can reduce your risk of heart disease, reduce cholesterol, and boost your immune system. Well, when the Now Bakersfield returns, we'll have one final check of your weather and check in with Chris about how to get your information removed after doing one of those at-home DNA tests.
If you do one of those at-home DNA tests, you swab your cheek, you send it off, and you hope to learn more about your family's background. But what happens when you no longer want that information to be revealed or for it to be open for other people to see it? The Now's investigative correspondent Jace Larson on how you get it deleted.
For a couple years now, these have been the popular gift to give. But did you ever stop and think about what happens to your genetic information?
Those direct-to-consumer testing companies are not healthcare providers, and they're not required to comply with health privacy laws like HIPAA.
Mason Marks, a research scholar at NYU, says there's very little regulation about how these companies can use your genetic information, and the fine print can vary from company to company.
They'll often present this in their terms of service as an opportunity to participate in research that might be funded by the National Institutes of Health, for example. So it suggests that there might be some kind of public health benefit, but oftentimes the companies have a relationship with a pharmaceutical company.
In most cases, your information is made anonymous, so it would be difficult, though not impossible, to track it back to you, even if Big Pharma does get your genetic profile. Mark says there are steps you can take to remove your information, though, and possibly keep it from being shared with third parties.
Many of the companies do allow you to go through a process to either, you can request that they destroy your sample. It's usually a saliva sample. You can request that they have it destroyed. You can request that they delete your information, or you can often delete your account and they say that that will delete your information.
But because of those sometimes loose regulations, it's unclear how much of your information will be removed.
The data is still being stored somewhere within the company.
And while it's certainly not as much fun as discovering your long-lost uncle,
the best way to prevent your information from being misused is to just not provide it to these companies in the first place.
Here's some more company-specific information for you. I just heard from 23andMe. They told me when you go through their deleting process, any stored samples are discarded, and also your associated personal information is deleted. MyHeritage said that samples are destroyed after you email or call the company and request that they do so. MyHeritage also says it never shares data with any third-party researchers.
All right, Jace, thank you. And more people reporting getting sick on planes because of cabin air. And tomorrow on the Now, we're talking to some people who are in the aviation industry who believe that it could be part of a larger problem, the signs you might be in a so-called fume event.
Coming up tonight on 23 ABC News at 11, Cal State Bakersfield is celebrating the 30-year anniversary of the Kero Center. Tonight, we look back at the victories that have taken place on the court since 1989 and the memorable moments that have happened inside those walls. We have that story and much more coming up tonight on 23 ABC News at 11. In the meantime, though, we're finally getting just a teeny tiny break from this weather.
I know we had those back-to-back storms over the weekend and more on the way as we head into the middle portion of the week, but we're going to be seeing clearing skies here in the valley overnight. That means temperatures are going to drop down to near that freezing mark. So it's going to be a cold start to your morning, and temperature is going to be staying well below seasonal for at least the next week. But as we head into your Wednesday evening throughout the morning on Thursday, tracking those rain chances here in the valley. But this is going to be a very cold system, so that does mean another round of snow in the mountains.
Well, prepare for that. That's going to do it for us here on the Now. We'll see you back here tonight at 11.